Congratulations.
So she has chosen to get ready for her wedding and all the preparations, and in fact is flying down there this weekend. And she wanted to thank everyone for the opportunity to serve. So, but she's actually moving out of state. So
To Florida?
she's going to be down in Florida for a little bit, and then they're actually going to settle near Frederick, right here in Maryland. So.
Nice. Well, thank you to her for her service.
Absolutely.
So we have to vote. We already did that. No, we only
That was
did the other
discussion.
one. Okay, all in favor of approving the resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous, Gal. And thank you to Catherine for her service.
Are there 31 days in August?
That's a random question. Sorry. I'm getting giddy.
Over 30 days.
Did you use the knuckle? I'll show you that on the internet. Yes, and I'm assuming that the recommendation of proceeding is to let the public know that there's a vacancy and for them to submit a letter of interest to us with whatever information they feel pertinent to
Yes.
the proceedings. And so that will be in your agenda for next month.
So for the benefit of all who may be watching, we are looking for someone to serve as Borough Council member for the remainder of Catherine Schubring's position on the council that she has just vacated and we've approved, that runs through the meeting in December of this year. So anybody interested, please send us a letter with your qualifications and why you want to be on the council. Okay, fire tax distribution discussion.
I don't need to regurgitate what's in the memo. You can see what I wrote there. For several years, admittedly, the chief has been bugging me about this percentage issue, and I have kind of tried to satisfy him with some explanations on why we use the formula that we use, but my understanding that it has not been found as satisfactory. So tonight, the question to you all is, are you willing and able to take a look at the way we do the distribution of that money to make sure that you all agree that it's a fair and equitable equation?
I believe that we should have a committee of 3 that can be available to meet during the day, because we're going to be relying on information from staff. So I suggest that the President Pro Tem, Vice President, and President be the 3 members of that committee. And then we get started as soon as possible. So no offense to others who work during the day.
You got boss, just me.
Well, Cody does. Cody works.
Sorry, Cody.
What the heck?
Everybody else is retired.
So what happens if we do the math on this and finds out that it should be 65-35?
Chips are gonna fall where they may.
That's why
I mean, the advice of the buffalo, let the chips fall where they may.
Got that. I was slow. Pictured it.
Yes.
No.
I think that's a by
He ain't gonna
consensus.
show up.
Thank you.
So that group of
Be
those
Mike,
3 folks will
Bruce,
report
and
back,
myself.
and you guys will report back to council hopefully next month. Is that the goal?
That will be the goal.
That'll be the goal.
We'll hopefully have something to bring to the council at the September meeting. Open to the public. We only lost 2/3 of the public. Seeing no interest. Thank
to
you.
adjourn.
Well, no, not yet. I want to thank staff, and I want to thank the staff members who give us our monthly reporting. So, thank you to Municipal Services and the Sewer and Water Treatment Plant. And to the staff that helps put together the report that deals with permits and the report that deals with what enforcement is being done with code.
Sarah has taken that on now. So Sarah is putting the reports together for the work that Beans and I do.
Good. Well, thank you, sir. Now you can have a motion to adjourn.
Actually, I don't think you can
I don't-
supersede the
no,
motion to adjourn in the first place, but that's beside the point.
Let's just,
Motion to adjourn.
just don't do that.
Second.
Scottish.
Scottish, plenty of Scottish too. I don't golf though. Ooh. Hello again, sports fans. Alongside Corey Smith, I'm Jeff Cook. It is August 26, 2025, week number 898. That's almost 900 episodes of Sports Chat. I guess when we hit 900, because that's only 2 weeks away, I'm gonna total up all the episodes of MASH, Leave It to Beaver. I have it in here somewhere, right, from before.
That was about like a 7-month
Adventures
conversation.
of Ozzy
Yeah.
and Harriet, just to see how far we are from all three combined. So, sometime when I have too much time on my hands, I'll put that together. I mean, it really wouldn't be that hard. Here, this page alone goes back to 2016,
Yeah.
and there was one of these somewhere that probably got tossed.
But we still keep trucking.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe it's in the Smithsonian. You never know.
Yeah, that'll be something.
Right. Speaking of something, I know inquiring minds want to know the ET.
Well, yeah, the ET is 137. That does include last night's ejection from Wilson Contreras and his manager there, Marot.
Ejection tracker.
Yes. So
So that leads us right into, Contreras obviously is in the hot seat. Would you put him there? Or you have some other
I have some
candidates?
others there, but
Okay, all right.
I actually have someone that got ejected anyway, but from a different sport, not baseball. But
Go ahead.
yeah, I got.
Oh, Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah. I
Good
got
pick.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Shiloh Sanders was ejected after throwing a punch during the Bucks Bills game. So
Yeah, in the first half, I guess that was just an easy way. They didn't have to cut him. They just said, I guess they did cut him.
well,
but-
yeah, that was my next thing on Sunday. Tampa Bay waived Sanders as teams trimmed their 53-man roster.
Well, and they
which
just
that
said,
was
hey, there's no place
shenanigans
for
for
fighting
that.
in the game.
And
Not hockey.
you're punching somebody with a helmet on.
Well,
So
yeah,
I mean,
that's
what,
not too smart anyway.
the person with the helmet's going to
Yeah,
win
cool.
that. So yeah, that was my hot seat. Where were you
Okay.
leaning towards?
All right. We're going to keep it on the local level. I'm putting myself on the hot seat. I
Okay.
missed 2 touchdown calls in the game Friday night. Okay, so the very first Ox touchdown, Braden Billman. For some reason, I credited the tight end, Brogan Clunk or something.
I
like
think
that.
yeah, if memory serves right, yeah.
All right, so yeah, it was number 7 and number 1, and but thinking back on it, I didn't know anything about this. I thought, man, this new tight end's really fast. But then I read in the Times, Tom Six's story in the Gettysburg Times about Billman having 3 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
So my apologies to Braden Billman. You ended up with a pick, an interception, that is, and 3 touchdowns. Count them 3. Luke Fry threw all 3 touchdown passes. I mean, what simpatico they have is shades of Brennan Holmes, and you know it's only a matter of time till Brody Holmes gets in.
Into that
works in-
spotlight
Yeah, I don't know
there,
if he's
yeah.
getting double teamed or whatever, but you can't double team those guys because you're gonna leave somebody wide open, and like Billman's got the speed to go deep. But if I had called that correctly, would that have impacted your player of the game in any way?
I still would have went with Luke Fry there.
Yeah, I think it was still the correct choice.
Just as
Somebody's got to throw those perfect spirals, parabolas, coming like moon balls. And
now, if memory serves correctly, did Billman have an interception, or was that?
that's what I'm saying.
That's
He had an interception.
I think that
closed
would
the gap.
have closed the gap there because the 3
I didn't
touchdowns.
blow that call.
No, that was a good call on that end.
So my apologies. Hey, he doesn't need to be player of the game. He'll probably get it again.
Mm-hmm.
So this Friday, and so that I segue right into you for the Shining Star, a glitch-free opener, Corey Smith. So
I try. I mean, thanks with Mark and Sean, and
And
getting
Jordan.
the equipment set up there, and,
Men
and
behind the
Jordan, yeah.
curtain.
So I'm going to go with my shining star. I'm going to go with Vinny Pasquantino. He was named the AL Player of the Week. He homered 5 straight games. In that stretch, he went 11 for 29, 379 average with 6 total home runs and 12
Team is
RBIs.
you on?
Kansas City,
Okay.
their first baseman there. So
Royals. I was guessing that, but I don't want to be wrong.
I mean, just the way they've been playing, he's been playing, but, the Royals are still
Well, yeah, let's
5
talk.
games
Let's
back
segue
there.
right into MLB because things are getting mighty interesting. Phil's having another big meeting with the Mets. They laid an egg last night, blew a 3-0 lead, lost 13-3. They got Luzardo going tonight, so we'll see. But that's the NL East. The Braves are terrible this year. The Nats are probably going to finish ahead of them. The Marlins are definitely going to finish ahead of them. So I think the Nats and Braves are battling out for last place.
Yeah, just the way the standings are going, I would say it's just a 2-horse race, and that's what we said
and
months ago.
But the Mets, they want to catch the Phillies, who they're now 6 games behind, and they have 6 games to go with the Phillies. So if they think, we could beat, we have their number, we have the mojo working, we'll sweep those 6 games. But you don't know, you can't put your money on that. So.
And the other thing, with
Well, and then I was going to say that they're kind of battling in that wild card race too to be the last wild card, right? Because like the Reds and the Mets were kind of battling it out.
Yeah, because right now you got the Reds are 2.5 games back from the Mets there. But the point that I was going with was the Phillies, they're going up against with the Dodgers and the Padres because you want to have the second best record in the divisions because then you have that bye.
Yeah.
So right now the Phillies are 76-55. The Dodgers and the Padres are 75-57. Padres are 74-58. So you're having that race of trying to avoid playing the wild card series. So
That's overall. Well, the Brewers are running away with it. I mean, I don't know. They had service for Bob Uecker. I didn't watch it, but
this past Sunday there, yeah. Right now the Brewers are 82-50. Now after their 14-game winning streak, they're 3-6. So they have come back down to earth a little bit there. The Cubs are 76-55. They're 5.5 games back. Cubs now are on a 3-game winning streak.
and they're what, the top wild card for the Cubs?
Yes, yeah.
Or
They,
the Padres, I guess. The Padres, Giants, they're all or Dodgers.
it goes
Padres.
the Cubs 76-55. They have a +6 to the outside of the wild card there, and then the Padres they have the second wild card. They're +3.5, and then it goes back to the Mets where they have the third wild card spot
And then
there.
the
So
Reds are 2.5 behind them.
so I mean seeing how things are going about there, the Cubs they own the series with the Brewers. They're done playing each other. They won that series 7-6. So if it comes down to a tiebreaker, the Cubs will leapfrog the Brewers.
I mean,
so
there's such a long way to go. I mean, I was a Phillies fan in 1964. I was 11 years old. They had a 6.5 game lead with 12 games to play. And they lost 10 in a row and ended up a game out. Another year, I guess it was 97 maybe, I'm not sure when, might have been Jimmy Rollins' MVP year. The Phillies were 7 games out with 17 to play, and they won the division. So there's history for teams blowing leads, so nothing is sacred, and the Phillies have a history. I think they've lost more games than any other team in Major League history, but they go back to 1876 or something.
Yeah, the late 1800s there, yeah.
Yeah,
So, looking at it, yeah, it's less than 30 games left of the season there. So what are you going to do in the month of September there? Are you going to falter a little bit there? And
Well, it's a battle to the end. Whose pitching can hold up?
it looks
Zach
like
Wheeler goes down, and
Sanchez has kind of took that
Sanchez.
mantle.
yeah, I don't know if he apparently came unglued. I was watching most of the game, and then I did something else, but I guess he had a balk called against him, and
I heard about that.
it threw him off his game, and the Mets rallied, and they beat up on Jordan Romero, who gave up 4 runs in the 8th or 7th or something like that. He gave up a 3-run homer to Tellens, the catcher for the Mets. You ever hear of him? I didn't think so.
So they're not too much of him there.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the divisions there, I'm not saying that the Phillies has got that lock in the barrel there, but I
No,
mean
not at all.
they look good compared to the other divisions there. I still wouldn't count the Cubs out of the Central.
No, yeah, especially with 3 and 6.
Yeah, they've come back down to earth where the Cubs
Yeah, they had to.
and
I
soared
mean,
there. So
Their record was ridiculous over what, a 35-game period or something. They lost.
just
12
kind of
games.
looking at the field for the National League, you basically have your teams. It's just a matter of where are they going to be
Right.
positioned at there,
Yeah,
because
like Dodgers, Padres. How's that play out? Nobody else really has a shot. I mean, the Giants and D-backs, they're fighting for 3rd place, I guess.
yeah, they're the Diamondbacks are 4 games under 500, and the Giants are 5 games under 500. And just looking at the wild card, once you get past the Reds is the only team that I could see kind of jumping into the fray there. The Cardinals are 5.5 games back, Diamondbacks are 6.5, Giants are 7. So once you get past like a week, it's tough because you're jumping more than one team. Where the Mets, you're 6 games back from the division, but you're only jumping one team. So that's the difference
Like the
between.
D-backs, weren't they sellers at the deadline?
Correct.
So,
Yeah, they
you're not-
got rid of Suarez and all that. So
There were teams that this is 10, 15 years ago, teams that started tanking way too soon. They're only 2 games out or something, and they start dismantling their teams. They just see that they can't sustain winning with that particular unit. So what about the American League?
so the American League is
The Yankees are in trouble. My good friend is a Yankees fan.
kind of looking at the American League, it's almost the same as the National League. You look at the team outside. We talked about the Royals when I said about Vinny Pasquantino and the Shining Star. They're 4 games back from Seattle. And then you got Texas there 5.5 and Cleveland at 6 games back. I just don't see a team that could just go on a run. Yes, you're only jumping one team, but
The Guardians, they kind of fell off the radar.
6-game losing streak for the Guardians. So, they were 3 games above 500 and looked like they're going to make a run, but then
Now it's Tigers, Blue Jays, and either Houston or Seattle.
and then your wild card is either going to be Red Sox, Yankees, or vice versa with Houston and Seattle. So
I mean, yeah, how about Alex Cora, manager of the year? The Red Sox, they looked kind of dead in the water earlier in the year.
it's especially when they trade Ralphie Devers to the Giants, which people said, well,
Addition by subtraction.
why are you trading him already? It's only June, and then look where they're at right now.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a good candidate for manager of the year in the American League there because, or you could go with the Blue Jays,
Yeah,
with.
and the Brewers manager, he's probably going to get it.
Yeah, I would say Pat Murphy is
Pat Murphy,
a
thank
good,
you.
good,
Good Irish
strong
name.
there, yeah.
Patty Murphy.
And looking for the American League to put a bow in that is the same as what I said about the American or National League trying to get that bye. So you're going to get the Tigers and the Blue Jays right now. They're 78 and 55. The Tigers are, and the Blue Jays are 77 and 55.
Half game difference.
The Astros are 4 games back from them. So it's just going to be the jockeying of can we avoid the wild card series. So
The Astros, they've been kind of streaky this year. I mean, are they, I don't know what the odds makers say, but they're probably a semi-long shot to win it all.
I think they have respectable odds there. I think
They've done it before recently, but,
I think I would take the National League teams.
well, Hader's been hurt, hasn't he? Isn't he?
He was on the IL, and I think he's slowly coming back. Maybe after Labor Day weekend, he might be coming back, or maybe the second week of September, and they're not going to rush him. But see what happens with that there.
How about Shining Star? How about Cal Raleigh, 50 home runs as a
Kind of
as a
segueing.
catcher?
Yeah, he is the first catcher with 50 home runs, and I can see him maybe 60 homers.
He's got to win the MVP. I mean, Aaron Judge is a great player, but he's missed some time, and this guy puts the tools of ignorance on day in, day out. Although the Phillies handled him in that 3-game sweep, I think he was 1 for 12.
Yeah, when you have 600 at bats,
You're gonna go through-
you're going to have leaps and bounds there. So I would
He's
say,
a switch hitter.
yeah, I would say I would take Raleigh over Judge, for the MVP. Just looking at the numbers
Yeah,
and what he has
the
done.
defense of being a catcher, I mean, a Judge plays a lot of center field, right field, but I think the wear and tear of playing day in and day out and doing what he's done offensively, I think he's probably the favorite right now to win the MVP.
Especially if they win the division, I think that's just a slam dunk for, Cal to be the MVP.
Yeah.
And it's only
They
the
gotta,
the second time that a Mariner has hit 50 home runs, the last time being Ken Griffey Jr. So
And he had 50 on the nose.
50 on the nose, yes.
Raleigh's got, like you say, 30 more games.
30 games there,
He hit
so
60.
it's
He could hit
definitely
74.
definitely on, maybe not 74 there, but I think 60 is definitely in the boundaries there. Before we go in the other information there and other sports there, we have a video from you on Friday.
Okay.
When we were talking about the player of the game with Luke Fry.
Player of the
So-
game. It could have been Braden Billman, but we're happy. Luke Fry was the right choice. Here we go.
So Luke, player of the game, congratulations. Nice start to your team. Talk about the protection your line gave and the overall performance of your team.
Yeah, the big guys up front, they were kicking butt all night. I didn't feel any pressure at all in the game, and they just gave me all the time in the world to throw and find my guys.
3 touchdown passes, and then the read option. I guess you decided to keep it 24 yards to glory. How'd that feel?
Yeah, that one felt pretty good. I don't run too much, so that one felt good for sure. The ends were crashing, so I pulled it. But
A nice start to the season. What do you expect out of Cocalico?
Cocalico is going to be a tough challenge, so we're going to have to prepare hard this week and then get ready for them.
You got a lot of weapons.
sir.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Good
sir.
luck this season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our player of the game, Luke Fry.
The Adams Electric player of the game.
Exactly. Well, they got their 6 spots in during the game.
And they were a little logo on the bottom left corner there.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Good, valid criticism. But was that a good shot?
Oh,
Like the
absolutely.
close-up?
Yeah, I like the vertical there. Yeah, I like that. Seeing how that game was going,
It would have been better if I had myself, my face on the camera.
I think it's good there. Yeah, yeah. It's, just seeing how that game went. It was what 21-7 at halftime, and Byrne was hanging with them, but New Oxford got the ball to start the second half. And it only took them a minute, and they went down the field and scored. And after that, it was
I missed the extra point.
with
Lavalley. Yeah. So it could have gone to mercy rule a lot sooner than it did.
Because they scored that touchdown with 3 minutes in the third, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. It's like, all right, we're going to be done in 12 minutes. And
the game went to what, 9:15 or something?
something like that. Yeah, I
9:30?
I got a snowball after the game there, so it was about like 9:40 until I left the parking lot and made sure all the cars left. Yeah.
Let the cars clear.
I guess the other thing, we got some banner.
Current banner sponsors. And then, do we have a phone call?
I think we got a phone call there, but
Wow. Thank you to our current banner sponsors. These are local folks in the community who support what we do on a daily basis. And being a banner sponsor entitles them to input on production and really help get involved with what our programming consists of. And they are as follows: Adams County Community Foundation, the Adams County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Destination Gettysburg, Classic Antique Innovations, Claire Lohman Realtor, and UPMC Life Changing Medicine. Thank you to our current banner sponsors. And if you're interested in being a banner sponsor or a panelist on trivia or anything else is on your mind, give us a call, 717-334-3000, or online, communitymedia.net.
there we go.
Operator is standing by to take your call. Actually, he's seated but not conceited. Okay. That's an old story. I won't repeat it. So, football?
Well, I think we got a caller though.
Right,
Yeah.
let's go to the phone line. Welcome to Sports Chat. Hello. Well, football led right into little Bobby calling. Who's your favorite team, son? The Eagles. Do you know the fight song? Thank you. I'm satisfied you know it. That's great. That's an excellent rendition.
I think
I think your public is craving it. Well, why don't you just pick up where you left off? Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, watch those Eagles fly, so fly, Eagles fly. What, your voice changed?
Oh, whoa, just in middle of a sentence, wow.
Okay, Robert, Danny Dietrich, did he win?
You got the wrong guy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Throwing you a curveball.
It's not Robert?
This is not Robert.
Oh, my. I don't think Robert would have known Fly Eagles Fly. That should have been a giveaway. I was suspicious at first. So is this going to be like Rumpelstiltskin where we have to guess who it is?
Yeah, you have to guess.
I got.
Is it Corey Zimmerman?
Yes, that was my.
You had that smug look on your face.
That was a good
Corey.
impression.
Oh, you were great. That was you really had us going.
Yeah.
I've had too many years of listening to that voice, but I can pull it off pretty well.
Yeah, what, did you turn the volume up or something? I mean, how do you get that feedback? I mean, you had it down.
I thought it was Robert too.
I did.
Yeah.
Especially. Oh, so what's going on, Corey?
Not a whole lot, guys. Not a whole lot. You were getting your cut. Final cut the days for all that stuff. The heads of 4 p.m.
When?
I'm excited. Can't wait to kick off next weekend. Can't wait to kick off football this weekend. It's going to be a great season.
What, next Thursday, Dallas? Not this Thursday, but
Next Thursday.
a week?
Yeah,
Dallas?
they had the cut down today was
Oh,
at 4 o'clock.
okay.
So, players that made the team, if they were the 53rd man on the roster, they're not a foregone conclusion that they'll make the team because you got waivers and team will
Right,
pick up
wheeling and
players
dealing.
and
Yeah, the-
you got
the taxi squad. What do they call it now?
you got thousands of players that got cut. So you're gonna if you get through this week, then you might be on the team there.
Any surprises to make the Eagles roster, Corey?
Actually, one surprise, Darius Cooper. Undrafted wide receiver. They cut 5th-round pick from 2024 and Nia Smith.
Okay. I don't think he never really did much, did he, Aeneas Smith?
He did not. He did not.
No.
They're kind of hoping he returns to the practice squad. So we'll see.
How I was just thinking of Jahan Dotson today. He's still an Eagle, right?
He's still good. He'll be fighting for a third string or fourth string position.
Well, who's going to be their number 3 wideout? Do you have an idea?
They did trade for John Mechie from the Texans about a week ago.
You
So
think-
they're kind of battling for that third spot currently.
Between him and Dotson, you think, or
Yeah, between those two, they lost Johnny Wilson.
yeah?
Year player out of FSU to a knee injury and ankle injury.
Well, he's kind of. He looks more like a tight end. Maybe he should beef up a little and play tight end. What do you think about that?
It's a possibility with Dallas Goddard, more in short-term contract.
Yeah.
They need to find some other options at the position for sure.
Well, and Zach Ertz, he's playing another year for the Commanders, isn't he?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't like that. I'm so used to seeing him in the midnight green.
I know.
But, I think
It's a business.
He'll do the right thing and retire his number at some point.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of love for him in Eagle Land for sure. He was a great tight end for many years, and I guess it really was the development of Dallas Goddard. You really can't afford to have 2 guys that you're paying umpteen million a year.
Yep.
But he's been great. A godsend. Goddard, a godsend.
How about the trade that the Eagles pulled off on this over the weekend there, getting Sam Howell,
Sam Howell.
yeah. So, I mean, for depth there because you got Tanner McKee that's
Yeah,
hurt
McKee,
right now.
I mean, he's done nothing but shine. He's been named as the backup, hasn't he? So Howell would be the emergency quarterback.
Number 3 there,
Pickett already got traded again from
to the
Cleveland.
Raiders, yeah.
The Raiders, Aiden O'Connell got hurt.
Yeah, he broke his wrist. He's going to be out
Throwing
4
arm.
to 6 weeks there on the final preseason game there. So I always looked at Kenny Pickett as the odd man out of those quarterbacks there.
Yeah.
You can't place him on the practice squad.
So they've named Flacco as their starter.
The 40-year-old Flacco, yes, soon to be 41.
And, the kid from Oregon is going to be the number
Gabriel's
1
going to be 2, and then Shador is going to be 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shador was pushing for it, but I guess his second performance wasn't as stellar.
Lacklusterous, yeah.
Okay, so who played their starting players in an exhibition game and had them get injured? I mean, that's enough to get you on the hot seat. Is there anybody that would qualify?
I mean, if you want to throw the Raiders for their quarterback there, but,
Yeah. What's he doing in there?
Well, I mean, he was competing for the second
Starting position.
Well, they got Geno Smith as a starter, so
right.
they're just trying to get the backup quarterback
Pete
and
Carroll.
just the depth there.
Well, I have too much respect for Pete Carroll to put him. He's older than me. He's older than me.
Maybe later on.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
If you're looking for someone to pull the hot seat, Bryce Harper's a good one to put it on.
Who?
He said Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Oh. For his lack of clutch hitting, or
Well, last night, started off the series with the Mets, and he wore Mets orange gloves and a dark blue set of cleats. There's something going on now in the game, but
And let's see how they respond tonight. I mean, as you well know, you lose by 10 runs in baseball. It doesn't really, there's no carryover. You can win 1-0 the next night. So Luzardo, he's getting the ball. He had a masterful performance against the Mets earlier in the year. So we'll see. I mean, Phillies have not played well against the Mets. The Mets knocked them out in the playoffs. Yeah. Like Brandon Nimmo always seems to go off, or, Lindor. I mean, there are only a couple guys in that lineup who really scare you, but, last night the Phillies pitching staff made them look all look like all-stars. So Tellis, the catcher, 3-run bomb. So Corey, you're one of our great success stories here on Sports Chat. And are you still involved with sports at all?
I am not. I went back to my old school roots. I actually work in the area cattle industry. I expressed many options after I was laid off from Fox 45 in Baltimore. And went back to my roots. It was a good opportunity for me. I'm about a year in, and I enjoyed every single minute, but still follow my sports very closely, still love talking sports with anyone. I certainly miss talking with you, Jeff.
Well, anytime you want to come on, join us. We'll triple your salary from when you were on before. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
But yeah, well, Nick and Brady have been on, so they did a great job. I had my grandchildren and my grandnephew on last week. My line, I told Corey many times, some call it nepotism, we call it programming. But they did a great job. So yeah, we'd love to have you. I know you're very knowledgeable, and especially being an Eagles fan, that's a big leg up. So, the Bears. What?
How's the Golden Gal?
Golden Gal.
Oh, Goldenville Gal. She's good. I'll tell her you were asking about her. So yeah, the famous educator in the Littlestown annals.
Please give her my well wishes.
I will. Well, so good to hear from you. And I'm telling you, it was almost as bad as the night I got tricked on trivia.
Yeah, I remember that, yes.
That's all I'll say. Corey Zimmerman, great to hear from you. Make it a regular part of your Tuesday, why don't you? We'll call it the Corey time.
Double the Corey.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, hey, I'll let you guys go. I hope some other callers call in for you guys. I hope Carl will call on in. I always love hearing them talk about Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State. Well, hey, well, what about Penn State? You can leave on that note. I mean, they look great, don't they?
Number 2 team in the nation.
Yeah, so I guess they'll be. Who do they have?
They got the Wolfpack of Nevada.
Nevada. Is that Saturday also?
That's a Saturday 3:30 kick for them.
All right.
So.
Be careful. Beware of the Wolfpack. But yeah, Penn State, we'll have plenty of chances to talk about them throughout the season. So looking forward to it. All right, Corey.
I'll be sure to call on again.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
There we go.
The original Corey on Sports Chat. Don't you guys spell your names the same way?
Different. I think he doesn't have an E. I have an E.
C-O-R-Y,
yeah.
And you have an E. I knew you had an E.
So. Going back to your question with the Bears, I'm cautiously optimistic that they can.
Who's their coach?
Ben Johnson from the OC from the Lions there. So I'm cautiously optimistic that they can pull off some wins, and they got the weapons. They gave Caleb Williams the weapons. They got.
Did he play at all in the preseason?
A few drives
Series.
there. So he was he didn't play the third preseason game there, but 1 and 2 he was playing, a drive or two there, but enough to kind of get the reps in there. So I like the direction. They play the Vikings on Monday Night Football Week 1 there, so typically they don't play well in primetime games there, but see what happens. But I like to see them
Rookie
contend.
quarterback for the Vikings, right? McCarthy?
Well, second year, he tore his
Yeah,
ligaments in
I
his
mean,
knee
he
there,
didn't really
but
play it all, and that's why Darnold had such a great year. for
yeah,
them.
he had that the breakout season. Well, not break. Well, for his standards, yeah, it was a breakout season there. So I would like to see them contending for the wild card and see if they can get that bump there. The last time they won a playoff game was back in 2010. So it's been a couple moons now. So that's my expectations. Is not have a losing season and just fighting for a wild card spot. So.
What about the Chiefs? Seems like they've had a lot of injuries through the preseason.
A little bit there, but they still have their weapons, and it's going to really come to the play of how many games Rashee Rice is suspended for.
I was going to say, I'm not too sold on their receiving core.
And if you lose that
Against
piece, there, yeah.
the Super Bowl, but he didn't play, I don't think.
He tore his ACL back in like October, so if they can.
Still, he's been out the whole time.
And then they have a court hearing September 30th, depending on how many games he would be suspended or
There was an
with
accident, people got hurt.
with the DUI there. So it's just a matter of the logistics and all.
accident when people
An
got
accident,
hurt?
yeah. So it's just going to be a matter of.
So he gets what he gets from the court, and then he may get a suspension on top of it.
That's where the bottom line's kind of falling in there. So.
I don't see it.
So with that being on September 30th, he is still eligible to play the first 4 weeks, but it's just a matter of, what is it going to be like after week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, and et cetera there. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting with that there, but looking at the Chiefs, they still have Mahomes and.
Hoping the judge is a Chiefs fan, huh?
Yeah, we'll see, but I think it's going to be a lengthy suspension. It wouldn't shock me if it's 6 or 8 or over half the season there. So, but looking at that, they got Pacheco coming fully healthy from where he was at last year. So,
Does he scare you?
personally, I mean, if I'm in the backfield,
Oh,
but
you
yeah,
gotta tackle him, that's one thing. I mean, yeah,
But I mean, seeing him, I think he's right up there. I mean, he can be scary for other defenses there, but I think looking at that division, I still would like the Broncos to go past the Chiefs. I like the Broncos, their pieces, their defense, and the pieces that they got in the offseason to help Bo Nix. I like their chances of winning the AFC
last
West.
time someone other than the Chiefs won that division.
You're almost looking at like
6.
after before Mahomes was even quarterbacking, even before that, you had Alex Smith. So I think it was probably 2016, 2015. So it's they've been running this division for the last decade plus, or almost decade plus. So
Mahomes, he's a special talent.
And
Kelsey, apparently he's lost some weight, and they think maybe this will be his last year.
that's the rumor mill.
Can he
This.
sing at all?
I
Well, anybody can sing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you can sing to an extent there, but yeah. I think this is the last year for Travis Kelce. I think they got Noah Gray, that's a tight end as well. You look at his age, and
He's got the podcast with his brother. They're making millions, so why not just do
see what
that?
happens. But yeah,
A lot safer.
kind of some other NFL notes there. We got some signings. We got an extension there for the wide receiver Terry McLaurin. With the Commanders,
Yeah,
3
it took
years.
him a while. Still no Micah Parsons though.
Nothing with Micah Parsons. Yep, that was my next one. Trey Henderson. Henderson, ended his hold-in. He got a 1-year deal, so basically he got a raise of $30 million this year. So that was a big piece there for the Bengals, because if you didn't have him, their defense was already, Swiss cheese, basically.
Especially during September. They always got off to a bad start. They had closed well, but they need a better start.
I think their last like 6 years, they were 1-12 in the first 2 weeks of the season, and they're always playing behind the 8 ball. So, getting this piece will help. Not saying their defense is going to be elite, but this helps them in the long run. And then going back to the Cowboys, Parsons is still in this saga dance with the Cowboys and him of, are they going to get a new deal?
Jerry Jones is the owner and the general manager.
You don't see that too often.
No.
Even if he does sign on the 11th hour, he hasn't been practicing. Do they put him out there to, play week 1 on Thursday? I doubt it. You could, pull a hamstring and all that there, yeah.
Here we are, 9 days away from the opener, and they still haven't signed their best player.
Someone's got to blink. And I think eventually, after seeing Tragan sign, even though it was only for 1 year, I think the two will meet in the middle. But, how Jerry Jones is, it's kind of hard to kind of meet in the middle with
He likes
him.
to win.
So that's an ongoing saga with that there. And then some other news, Joe Mixon has been placed on the IR, with his ankle.
Who's he with now?
The Texans. He was with the Texans last year, so it looks like that's going to be Nick Chubb kind of running the backfield there.
Former Brown.
And with multiple, devastating injuries that Nick Chubb has dealt with. So I think that's going to be an interesting backfield. And Tajay Spears has been placed on the IR. He's going to miss the first 4 games. So it looks like Tony Pollard's got the keys to run with. No pun on that there as a running back. So
I wonder what the point spread is going to be on that game. At least 10 in favor of the Eagles? Do you have an early line on that?
yeah, let's check a look. Take a look.
That's a pretty big point spread for the NFL.
I think the
maybe
last time I
7.
checked, it was probably 7.5 or 8 there. Let's see here. That's
Not that we're gamblers here, because I'm not. I'm pretty sure you're not either. But
yeah, I
it's
dabble a
interesting.
little bit
Oh,
there,
wow,
but
okay.
yeah, let's see here. The up 7.5. So there we go.
Call. Good call. That sounds about right.
It's a respectable number there.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not a pick 'em. I don't know. How do they come up with that percentage of winning? Feed that into a computer? Is that AI?
It's like old Vegas, and they just put all the numbers and just.
Yeah. AI is everywhere.
Some other notes there in golf
Isn't
land.
Siri AI? The whole smartphone thing, isn't that AI? But go ahead.
Yeah.
Back to golf.
Back to the golf there, they had the Tour Championship there. The FedEx points, and they had the playoffs the last 3 tours. They just ended They ended their season, and Tommy Fleetwood got his first win. It took him 164 events, and
He won a big one.
He won the big one.
10 million or something?
10 million. So,
you go,
well, he
Tommy
doesn't get all
Fleetwood.
10 million. He gets it, to the caddy and all that there. But yeah, he is, lots of second place finishes. 2 weeks ago he was up, 2 strokes, and then he is. I think he's he is. Let me get his.
Rory is from Northern Ireland.
He's an Englishman. English. So
What's that?
yeah, across the pond there. So it
Hey,
was
laddie.
good to see him, get the win. Like I said, 2 weeks ago he had 2 stroke lead with 3 holes to play, and he comes in third. And then he went in a playoff and just didn't get the win. So it's good to see.
Somebody other than Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, and this is a fan favorite victory there, and he's been on the tour. Like I said, this is his 164th event there, so he's not a spring chicken there. So he's been in there for years.
I wonder if any of those live guys have regrets. I know they're swimming in money, but you just don't get the same coverage.
Yeah, you're on different, and then you're only playing for 3 days. It's only 56 holes instead of 72. So yeah, it's a big difference there. So, yeah, just 54, not 56. Yeah, 54.
I had to check your math. Hey, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
parting thoughts? Great show.
Yeah, just we'll be back next month in September,
Yeah?
and we'll be talking a lot more college football, NFL, and
Good
and
luck to the Buckeyes
Yep.
against Texas and
Yeah, the-
Arch Manning.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. And hope to see everybody back next Tuesday and every Tuesday here on Sports Chat. Good night, everybody. Mahalo. Thanks, Corey Zimmerman. And thanks to Jordan and Sean. I'll make it up to you during trivia. I'm sorry.